Okay, so did Mike Lynn come back and then find you eventually?
Yeah, Mike Lynn came back and we talked, and at that point, he took me to Encore Studios in Burbank, which was basically Aftermath headquarters at that point in time. And I just walked in on one of those days where everything was going on, man, because you had 50 was in the room. They was working on In the Club. Which at that point in time, In the Club was the first time the beat for In the Club was originally supposed to be for Rakim.
Okay.
But I don't know what happened with that. But I mean, you see that, what 50 did with it, so it definitely belonged in his hands, because In the Club is In the Club. But Busta Rhymes was there, Eve was there, Rakim was recording. It was just Nate Dogg was there. It was just a lot of shit going on, and I was just like a kid at an amusement park for the first time. Like I was just expecting to come and see Dr. Dre, which was going to be, mind blowing as it is. But I got to see Snoop. That was my second time seeing Snoop in my life, which was dope. And then meeting Busta Rhymes for the first time, me and him, we clicked instantly. It was just a genuine, big brother, little brother thing with me and him is still existing to this day. He calls me borderline disrespectful. He says, I do the most disrespectful shit ever known to man, but I get right to the line and then I just stay right there. I never go to the point where it could, get me 25 to life or something. So he always says that I stop. But yeah, that was Aftermath in those days.
I mean, being from the West Coast like me and you, meeting Dr. Dre
was fucking life-changing.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to find a lot of artists on the West Coast that didn't come from that Dr. Dre family tree.
Yeah.
It all really comes from him.
I think everything on the West, outside of I want to say YG.
YG, yeah.
YG,
that's the only one.
And I give him, all his flowers for being able to just, rise to the occasion and become the type of West Coast hip hop nigga that he is from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? Just building his, 400 thing from the ground up, because everything else did come from Dr. Dre. But,
exactly.
Mustard, YG, Ty Dolla $ign, they did their thing. And I was here to watch the rise. Also Nip, you know what I'm saying?
Nipsey as well. Yeah.
Nip came up, self-made too. I had a hand in that with, I was there, Steve Lobel, Wack, like we was all there. And so we watched Nipsey go from that, that island in the middle of the street and, over there hustling in his strip mall, from the incense to the mixtapes to being, world renowned and now being, the Nipsey hustle that we know and that we knew.
Okay, so you meet Dre. Did he offer you a record deal right then and there?
Pretty much. Once he one thing about Dre is that he know when the shit is gonna be a hit. He know when it's not gonna be a hit. He know when it ain't no artist development that needs to happen before he knows if you're gonna be a superstar or not. He don't make no mistakes like that. It's just because he fine-tuned and his ear and his skill set is geared towards greatness. And so he don't tolerate nothing else, not even in his mind state. So if Dre brings you, he know. So he already knew.
Okay, so you meet Dre and then you sign Aftermath Interscope.
Right.
How big of a deal was that? I mean, to come from where you come from, to sign with the greatest producer of all time, who's based on the West Coast.
Right.
Coming from Compton, going through all the foster care and the shootings and the gangs and the drugs, and now here is this light at the end of the tunnel.
It was amazing, man, because I always looked up to Dre as not like the father I didn't have, because I had one, and I had a good one, a shitty one, a hood one, an intellectual one. My dad was a man of many hats, and I love him to death, even in death. But Dre was like a super big brother to me, you know what I'm saying? And man, to be signed to Dr. Dre at that time was pretty huge, but I also felt like I deserved to be. Because it wasn't nobody on the West that was bigger than me. It wasn't nobody on the West that was gonna be bigger than me. And to this day, not to slight anybody, I'm the biggest West Coast artist, period. And I'm talking about, not to cut you off, but I'm talking about from 2003 all the way to now. I'm here. I'm alive. My discography is in the tens of albums, and I ain't nobody can out rap me still to this day. So